again, Unpowered Mission family. We are so excited to be back today. We have a very special guest coming on in just a couple of seconds, Mr. Eugene Gardner. He is a humanitarian, a philanthropist. He is doing amazing socioeconomic activities here locally and globally, and not to mention in the community, in your near community. We're right here in Lithonia, Georgia at the Lithonia Arts Center. And so without further ado, let's give a round hand clap of applause for Eugene Gardner. What's been going on?
Oh, just living and having fun with life.
Wow, wow, wow. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Living and having fun in life. And we're just happy to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Wow, and I'm just happy to know you. My goodness, my goodness. Family. Eugene Gardner. I tell you, when I met him, it's been what, about a year ago?
About a year.
About a year ago. And I tell you, his story simply amazed me. And we talk about at Unpowered Mission, we talk about individuals that are doing great things in the community, that are making an impact, right? And it's flawless. And this individual has been doing so many things in the community. And we want to talk about it. And you're going to hear a lot of beautiful sounds in the background, because I got to say it again, we are at Lithonia Arts Center right here in Lithonia, Georgia, talking to Mr. Eugene Gardner. So I'm going to dive on in, because I want everybody to hear what you've been doing, because I tell you, it's infectious, right? When you're serving.
I enjoy what I do. I just think this is an amazing building. The owner has done a great job, investing in his community, investing in people. I just, hats off to the owner of this establishment, first of all.
Yay, that's right, woo! Hats off to Stephen Paul, wherever you're at out there. Hats off. And I know you all have a chance to talk, and that's one of the things that you do. When we talk about you making an impact in the community, that's one of the things that you do. You connect people. You connect entrepreneurs. And so I do want to talk about that. You do a lot of networking, because you are an entrepreneur.
I am.
You've been in the insurance industry. I knew all this about you, didn't you?
Right.
You've been in the insurance industry for what, over 30 years?
29.
29 years.
Yes.
Okay.
It's my first job out of college. My only job, actually.
Wow. And so you've made a lot of connections. And so you don't just keep those connections to yourself. You are very intentional.
I believe
about your connections.
In order to be great, you have to have other people great.
Wow.
You understand? In order to be great, you need to help others to become greater than you. And that's the legacy. When Martin Luther King died, his name continues to live today, even more throughout the country, throughout the world, his legacy. So if I have a legacy, I want my legacy to be that I help someone move forward. Wow. Or someone help me.
Wow. And what, come on, y'all. Wow. It seems like it's something so simple, yet so little people do what you just said. And so we want to empower people to do that. So tell me about, because I'm so going to get into what you've done with these young people now. Don't think I forget about that. We're going to talk about that. But I want to tell me about some of the individuals, adults that you connected with one another. You were really happy about what happened from that business relationship.
I connected with so many. I just really don't have time to begin, but there was a John Bravo. John Bravo, he has a company with JV Enterprise. His whole thing was give back, ministry, and he would give back 10% of whatever he made. Okay. If he made $1 million, he would write a check for $100,000. God always got paid first, even if he lost money, if he made money. And I watched him, and I was like, wow. He said, the Lord give it, the Lord take it away, but blessed is a man that blesses God. God blessed his business so much. He made a big impact on my whole life, the way he did things. There was a James Fizel, he taught me. He was the first man to say, I love you.
Oh, wow.
Way back then, because, I didn't have a good relationship with my father. And, he came at a time in my life where I needed a man to say, hey, you can go this way, you can go that way. And here's the end results if you go to the right or left. So you decide what you want to do. So I decided to make the right decision, and here I am today.
Wow. High five to you. I'm telling you, because what you've done with that, that individual probably didn't know what impact they placed on your life, but you basically took that and you paid it forward.
I did.
And now you've mentored other men. I mean, in fact, hold up, I got my notes here. I'm so excited. You have mentored because you started back in 97, right?
1990.
1990.
Yes.
Mechanicsville Baseball Association. And through that association, talk about mentoring other men and paying forward what someone did for you. It says here that you assisted college-bound students with baseball and football recruitment among colleges, right? Over 125 young men. That is huge. Tell me about that, because I know, before you tell me about that, I know your father, right? Father of four.
I am.
You were a father of four back then, and you were helping these 125 baseball and football students, and you were also, being a father, and I believe, just being a family man, and you were an entrepreneur. You were helping 125 young men, not to mention over, I believe, 30 that went on to play pro ball, 4-year colleges, with many of them receiving academic scholarships. Tell me about that. How did you balance all those things?
I believe that God called me to work with young people. I guess you're gonna kind of touch me a little bit. It came with a lot of sacrifices. Mm-hmm. I had 4 kids, and the only way that they could see me if they went to the baseball field, a football field, practice. And as my daughters got older, they kind of resented me a little bit. You know what I mean? And that caused a strain on my relationship. But they understood what I was doing. They never fussed, you know what I'm saying? But now I try to love them even more. That was hard. Over 20 years, we got over 200 kids that graduated from college with degrees. Now went to college. They graduated from college. Yes, they graduated. And that was more like in distressed areas, single parent homes, because that's where I came from. So my heart was there, my passion was there. And someone gave me an opportunity, and I wanted to give back. I was just getting out of college, and I wanted to say, you know what, you can make it, you can do it, but I'm gonna give you a choice.
Right.
You can go and sell drugs, or you can go out here and play baseball, football, basketball, and go to school and do the right thing. If you do that, then I'm gonna give you 100% of me. So you decide what you want to do, and God blessed it.
Amen.
All right. It was hard because it was just me. I had no sponsors. I had no money, so all of my money I used to give back to my program. That was very difficult, but God sustained. He made a way. My kids went without a lot.
Wow.
But I'm blessed because I got 4 children, and 3 of them in college, just about to be out of college. That's a blessing, because God honored that, what I was doing, and He gave back to my kids. As you know, I used to say, I wish Oprah Winfrey, Steve Harvey, somebody would come in and try to see what God is doing would help.
Right.
But people would write to Oprah, she never replied back. People would reply to Steve, they never replied back. And it used to bother me at first, but you know what?
Yeah.
I learned when God is for you, that's all you need.
Wow.
That's all you need.
Wow. And we're going to come back to that because we've got to touch a little bit more on that. Thank you for being so transparent and sharing with us. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more, okay? We are. And you know what? Before we close out on this break, Oprah and Steve Harvey, you want Eugene Gardner on your stage. We're going to talk about, I know Oprah, you're doing a whole nother thing here. I'm talking to her. Yeah, that's my girl. But Eugene Gardner is somebody that we all need to talk to. We want to hear his story. We're talking about being selfless. And I believe that those angels that God dispatched different places to make sure that his kids were taken care of. And now they see all the amazing things that he's done over the years. And not to mention just his 4, but he touched hundreds of kids. Far, near and far. And so when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to come back from the break in a minute, y'all. We'll be back.
your teeth not living their best life? Well, it might be time to get them rejuvenated. Whether you're suffering from tooth pain, bad breath, have deformities due to an accident, bleeding gums, or just unable to eat due to discomfort, Conyers Denture and Implant Center is here for you. Conyers Denture and Implant Center specializes in a variety of services, including extractions, implants, and dentures. They have the right price and the right fit. With over 35 years of combined experience, Dr. Gordon Fraser and Dr. Benjamin Blackburn have created a unique environment focusing on educating patients on all that dentistry can provide. Once patients are clear on their options, this creates a win-win situation for every patient at Conyers Denture and Implant Center. Make sure to call or stop by today for your consultation.
Clear Choice is not your only choice for full mouth rehabilitation. Here at Conyers Denture and Implant Center, we have implants to fit every budget. We provide the best that dentistry has to offer at competitive prices and unsurpassed customer service. So don't let your teeth hurt you this holiday season. Come see us at Conyers Denture and Implant Center.
Living life, feeling good inside. Ask me why, it ain't no surprise. We got the tea, good for you and me. Kings and queens, check out Ebony. Cancer, diabetes, STDs and infertility, endometriosis, vaginosis, weight loss and fatigue. It's what we do, it's made for me and you. It's that rejuvenating feeling, gotta come and get your healing. Get your healing. Ebony, Ebony healing.
Hey family, we are back here at Unpowered Mission TV with Mr. Eugene Gardner. Yay! Woo-hoo! Yeah! I'm excited. And I'm so excited because again, we were talking about on the break how Eugene has done so many things to make an impact in his community locally. Not only here in Georgia, California, everywhere, here locally and globally. And what he's been doing is working with young men in baseball and football and making sure that they have a clear path or understand their clear path, right? To college, to graduating, to being great citizens, right? Right? And I want you to tell me, because we talked about it on the break, I want you to tell me about how one example of, and I know you've got hundreds, one example of an individual that you worked with, you mentored him, and what was the day-to-day like to get him to college, through life, all those things that were happening, right? And at the same time, being a father to your own children.
Well, I won't call his name. I had one young man that he wasn't a good baseball player. Nobody really wanted him on the team, but I took him because I wanted those kids that were rejects. So he had a difficult time, you know. So one day he went home to his house, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. He called me. He said, "Coach, I want to kill myself." I said, "Why?" He said, "My mom is in here doing a bad thing to a man. She stole my clothes. She sold my clothes. I have no reason to live." It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, "No, where you at?" He said, "I don't know where I am." He said, "Coach, your dad is not there and your mom is on dope. So I have no reason to live." So I said, "I'm coming to get you." He said, "You live too far." I said, "There's no miles that will separate the love that I have for you." So when I saw him, he was crying. It kind of made me emotional, you know. Yeah. And then my daughter just like, "Daddy, you never have time for us. You 3 o'clock in the morning during the day, and like they was fussing a little bit, and so I was kind of tore up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went in over on Martin Luther King where he was living, and my heart was broke, you know what I mean? But I got him and I took him to my house, and I said, man, you know, I love you. I said, you know what? We're gonna be great. We're gonna do this.
Wow.
He said, what do you mean? He said, what do you see that I don't see? I said, I see you at a university, graduating from university. I see you doing very well. He said, why do you see that and I don't see that? I said, because I'm older than you. So, a long story short, he was on the team. He struck out every game, and everybody would get mad with him, say, kick him off the team. I said, you know what? We're as strong as our weakest link.
My God.
So they was like, okay. So I said, the only way we're going to get better is you guys got to learn to accept him as your brother, and we're going to work together, and he's going to do something great. Well, we get to the championship game, the score is 0-0, and Maurice up the bat, and they said, man, let's get ready to go to extra innings because he's going to strike out. What does he do? He go hit a home run, and we win the game.
Wow.
Changed his life.
Changed his life.
Changed his whole life.
Changed his life. Changed his life.
He went to college. He graduated from Georgia Southern. He's in the military. He's done, I mean, I can go on and on, so many examples, but that was one that would always stick with me, you know.
And you had to look at your girls and your son. I know. You had to look at them and say, Daddy's gotta go. And what's so awesome about that, I mean, when we look for the good in it, your children are either in college or graduating from college, right?
Yeah.
Very, very bright.
Extremely. I got 4
Extremely
kids.
bright. 4.
One of them is in the master's. My daughter, she graduates in December. She's getting ready for medical school. And I got one daughter that's an actress. One story about her, I remember, she was like, Daddy, I am so tired in the rain. These kids, they don't ever have money. We don't have money because all the money you make, you give it to them. So I was, like I said, I was kind of like confused. I was like, man, God, you called me to do this, but my kids are suffering. So I said, well, look, I tell you what, we're going to go and do ice cream. And my daughter said, we did that 3 years ago. That was a low point in my life right there. She said, we did that 3 years ago. I said, God, I'm a bad daddy. I said, y'all. I was like, nah, we understand. Because you came up like that. So, I didn't have my dad. I wanted to give those kids an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I did that with my heart.
Yeah.
And as I look back over it, over 200 of them graduated with a degree, and a lot of them are saved, they're married, they're doing well. And I tell them, you don't owe me nothing. I just want y'all to play it forward. And I would always say that to them. It's like, Coach, what you want? I say, play it forward. Go help someone else. And what used to hurt as well, a lot of my friends that grew up without their fathers, that don't become what you hate.
Right.
That's what my mom used to tell me.
Right.
I see a lot of men, African American men,
Yeah.
they go get children, and because it don't work with the wife or the girlfriend, they don't want to have nothing to do with them. I said, how could you do the same thing that happened to us? So I just want to be different.
Right.
And, that's my story, That's my story,
And you are different, says the flower. You are different. And you know what? You are also an amazing father. And you all, let's just give him a hand clap. Okay. You're an amazing father. And not just an amazing father to 4, right? 4, but an amazing father to hundreds out there. That young man, when you said to all of those young men, you said, you know what, we are only as strong as our weakest link. That's something that we can learn, right? In corporate America, in our ministries, in our churches, in these community activities that we're involved in. That one statement, we are only as strong as our weakest link. And that means everybody gets together and build that one person up. And you changed his life. You changed his life. And it also changed your children's life.
It did.
Because they're going to pay it forward too. They're going to pay it forward too. there's not enough time to talk to you, Coach. I'm telling you, because there are some things when we come back from the break that I want to talk about that you specifically did, because I want other people, individuals that want to serve, to learn from what you're doing and what you did, and so they can go out and pay it forward, right? And imagine if we had another 400 or 500 from one Eugene Gardner program, right? That graduate from college and go out to be greater citizens, greater fathers, and they pay it forward. So after we come back from the break, we're going to talk about that, all right? All right, awesome. We'll be right back, y'all. Here at Impowered Mission TV with Mr. Eugene Gardner. And I have to tell you, thank God for makeup artists, man, because this guy right here has got some tears jerking in the house. And there's more room out than in, right? But these are tears of joy, because even through all the different things that you've done and, all the different challenges that you've had on your journey, I mean, it's just so awesome to see how much of an impact you've made in our community. And so we commend you for that. We commend you for that. We commend you for that. And one thing I love about Eugene is he does not take all the credit. Very, very humble individual. He gives all the glory to God. And so as we go to our close, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions. Well, actually 3 more. Give it to me, 2.5, okay? But the first question is, so that we can make it infectious and we can have other individuals like yourself out in our community replicating what you did and what you are still doing, what are 2 or 3 things you could say to them on how to make it happen, how to help our young people, understand the importance of education, decisions that they make, and how to have that vision and shoot toward that vision? What would you say to them, to the adults out there that are trying to replicate what you did?
I would say to the men, I can't speak for the women, I think the men have to have a genuine heart. When they see a woman who's single, the father's not involved in the child's life, they have to have integrity, because a child is the single most thing that a woman loves, that she birthed.
Wow.
And that man needs to have love for that child and not try to play house with the mama. Because I never did.
Come on, somebody.
I never did that.
Wow.
That was never an option.
Right.
It's all about trying to help that young man or that young lady get to where they need to get to in life. And that's something that I took pride in. Over 200 women, they can look you and anybody else in the eye and say, this guy is for real.
Wow.
Opportunities was there, but it never was about them. It was about helping the child.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is simply amazing, outstanding. I can't come up with, you know what? I need about 5,000 adjectives for that. That is great. I mean, because it's bigger than that. It's so much bigger than, like you said, some people want to just get with the mother. I mean, that's just real talk, y'all. We know we do real talk here too. But you're saying, listen, it's bigger than that. We're talking about a young woman or a young man's life that's in the balance, right? And that we're trying to make an impact on them so they can go further. Okay, awesome. How did you get your funding? Because I heard you tell us, my kids was like, hold up, you're giving all our money to these folks, and wait, hold up. So how did you get your funding, then and now?
I am a very good insurance agent. And a lot of people saw that I was helping these kids, so a lot of people bought a lot of policies from me.
Oh, wow.
But like, a lot of my money went to the program versus home, so that kind of caused problems. And I'm a good business person, so I created great business relationships, and I taught the young man how to fish, not ask.
Got
so
it.
You're gonna get out here and you're gonna work with me, and we're gonna raise money for what it is that we needed to do. So I'm proud that we used to fly to our football or baseball games. We used to have charter buses. We used to stay at the Marriott, at the Hyatt. I wanted to give them
Wow.
the best in life because they saw the worst. So if you give them
Wow.
the best in life, so when they met a young lady or that young lady met a young man, if he didn't respect your values, or if he couldn't give you better than what I showed you, then you don't need him.
Wow.
So that's how I ran mine. And to this day, I'm the same way.
Wow, you are. I know that firsthand. That is awesome. Thank you for that.
And don't expect
Wow.
a Steve Harvey, nothing bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Oprah, all these people. It's people like Denise. It's people like
Oh,
you
bless
that
you.
get the story out there, and somebody can see it. Somebody say, "Hey, look, hey, we want to amend that. We want to duplicate that."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you are my hero.
oh, bless you. You are our publicized hero today, though. You're not going to give it, put it right back over there. Come on, y'all. Let's give it. Yes, publicized hero.